Hey everyone, Sycra here, and today I'm just going to do a basic tutorial on the importance of form and construction. So a drawing without construction is sort of one where it's just like, okay, I'm just drawing, and there's a guy here, he's got eyes, nose, mouth, tongue, teeth. It's like, okay, fine. And some hair, ears, and a neck. Okay, so again, this is going to be very basic, so it's not for an advanced artist. You probably already know this, but if you're starting out, it's very important to have construction. What construction is to look at these things, like this drawing, and start to think of it more like shapes. So you have a certain type of, like this has sort of like a circle shape, and then this is more, I don't know, oblong. I see more like this type of shape. And the way I think of it is sort of like a pear. So let's just simplify this into a pear. And you might have seen stuff like this in an art book already, where you take, you know, a character and it's broken down into something very basic, something maybe like a pear. But what's missing here, like, sure, this is the shape, it's like a pear, but what's missing is the construction. What makes it construction is the ability to see through this object. So this isn't just a flat circle and then a bigger circle. It's more like a form. So think of a center line going around, and it goes down this form, and then it comes up and around this form, and then it doesn't just stop here. It goes behind, and you can ease up on the pressure, but I'm just going to use dotted lines. It goes behind here, and then it comes forward. So this now is a construction. We can also do something in terms of the horizontal lines. It's not just a line like this. You have to think around this form. So in a way, I'm doing an ellipse like this, right? So this is saying this is the visible part, and it goes around this form, and then there's a hidden part as well, and the same for this area. Now, perspective helps this helps you to see this a lot, but even without perspective, I think this is a tutorial that I want to make just geared towards, you know, anybody. Like, if you like to draw and not necessarily draw professionally or something, just draw and make your drawings better, then this is really important. And I think one of the best ways to improve is draw circles and then draw an ellipse around in the circle, and sort of imagine that this one is coming towards us and then this is in the background. Another thing you can do are things like this. Draw a cylinder. So start with the ellipses, or these ovals, connect them, but then strengthen the lines of what is not, you know, like this one is the hidden line right here. So strengthen the ones that aren't hidden, and then put a label around it. And when you put a label, don't just do something like this, you know, like that and that, because that's not following the construction. The construction would be to draw as if this is a transparent object and you can see through it, and then, you know, just you can outline or strengthen the lines that are correct. And then so this would be the label area on this cylinder. Let's say it's a tin can or something, right? So this is how you want to think. Even if it's a very basic character, that's just a circle on, you know, a cylinder. Like, let's say this is the neck, it's a cylinder, and this is the head, and it's a sphere. And we just draw a line around. Then we can find the center line. Maybe it's straight up and down like this. Okay, well, fine. It can be just facing forward. But already this is going to give us more help in determining where things are going. And then you could have like the eyes here and the mouth here. And it's very basic, but it feels stronger than without construction, you know? And you can also do things like this, like draw an arc for where the eyebrows are going to be and put the eyebrows on top of that arc, and it just looks a lot more I guess, finished than if you were to just draw it like this. And although this looks pretty funny, kind of like it, but yeah, I mean, this is more three-dimensional at least. And you can also, with the circle, you can draw it something like this. And if you're having trouble drawing these ellipses like this, you just practice doing them a bunch of times and you get better at it, you know. Just practice making circles and ellipses and drawing crosshairs through those. It's always useful. Things like that. But let's go back to this. So, okay, I'm going to draw lightly now. That's why I'm using a pencil. And we're going to draw this pear shape. So, okay, we have the pear shape. And now we're going to have a cylinder for the head. So, okay, we got a cylinder for the head. And let's get a center line down. And it goes behind. Like, even if you're not drawing it, at least feel it. At least think about this center line going over the head and around. Because when you're thinking about these things, something happens and you start to change the way you draw. And I think that's really useful to even just think about it. Okay, so let's get the neck here. And again, I'm drawing very light. Now, if you have trouble drawing light, you might want to avoid drawing with your pencil held like this, where you're really close to the tip of the pencil. And this is just a mechanical pencil, but it doesn't matter if it's a mechanical pencil or even if it's a pen, because when I hold it like this, like a writing instrument, my lines are very dark and it's hard to make light lines. If you want to make lighter lines, one way to do it is to change your grip to something like this, but then you lose a bit of the accuracy when you're doing this. It's still not bad, and I prefer holding my pencil like this, especially for things like construction. It's really nice. But because this is more geared towards someone who hasn't drawn much, and let's say you're very comfortable with holding your pencil like this and you're not comfortable holding it like this, or, you know, something like this, which I really like and I recommend. And I would encourage you to try to, you know, because you can just make a lot smoother line, but it's kind of hard in the beginning. Let's say you're going to hold it like a pencil. Just hold it further back. Like if I hold it way back, let's say here is as far as I'm comfortable holding it, then my lines are already going to be lighter, just because I don't have as much strength. I can't, like if I really tense up, sure, I can get it dark. But if I'm really close to the front like this, then I can really get it dark, but it's hard to get it light. With practice, of course, you can vary it. So yes, I'm near the front of the lead, and I still can get it light. But anyway, okay, so we've got our construction. This is going behind. Now let's get our line for where the eyes are going to be, somewhere around here. And then just build the nose off the center line. See? So it's not going to be going, you know, anywhere. It's not just here. Because let's put the center line on this guy, right? Well, the nose is not quite following this form, and the mouth is quite off. And you can do this thing where you draw a circle first, an oval on this. See, like this? You can draw an oval and then draw the nose around this. And it's something animators use a lot, is just building forms through construction. So putting other forms, like an ellipse, on this surface. And then think about the eyes. Like, okay, so if we have this, and we have one eye here, for instance, then we'd have another eye here, but it's sort of further away, right? It's going around the circle. And then we can have our eyebrows like this, and then give this guy the smile, and then teeth. But now remember that this mouth, right? You have teeth and stuff, but this is going inside, so we have our tongue, but the tongue isn't going to be right in the middle like this. Like if this face is sort of facing, you know, in a 3/4 view like this, we wouldn't have the mouth facing forward. So keep that in mind, that the mouth is, all this stuff is inside. And then when you strengthen these lines and give the guy an ear, and remember the other ear. Okay, so the other ear is on the opposite side, right? So we can get that in. We can get the other ear on the opposite side, but it's not going to be like this. See how this is as much outside of this, it's showing as much on this side as it is on this side. Well, in this, because we're thinking, okay, so we're seeing through this, right? We just started with a circle, we see through, and a lot of that ear is probably going to be hidden. Maybe a little bit shows through, right? So you get something like that. And then it's much easier to place things. And he's looking at us, and there. So, oh yeah, and the hair. So even the hair, remember, some parts are going to be behind the head, and some parts are going to go forward. So if you're starting out, this is something I'd really encourage you to try, is just build things on construction. And this pear shape, or even a bean shape, as in animation we tend to think of it more like a bean shape, it's very helpful for thinking of forms, because you can make a lot of things out of a bean shape. So you can make a person, and his body's a bean, and you can make his head into a bean shape. And so practicing a bean shape is also something like this, you know, and get the center line in, and it's pretty useful and effective. So again, hope you try this, and I hope it helps, and thanks for watching.